fast as the things go here.
It's a hypothesis?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay.
man. Using science terms, anybody that has Netflix, you should totally go watch, what's it called? Black Hole Apocalypse. It's a Nova documentary, double length. It's 2 hours about basically the history of our knowledge of black holes.
That's neat.
It was awesome. It taught me things that I didn't even know. Yeah.
Yeah. I know for a while, for a long time, it was just like, there's some math that says this could happen. I don't know whether it's actually possible. And then now, there's evidence for them all over the place.
Including one that we finally, looked at.
Yes.
As well as, you can. But I also recommend one called Death Dive to Saturn, which is a normal 1 hour Nova episode that is all about the Cassini probe. And essentially it talks about all of the amazing things that the Cassini probe did. It was brilliant. But if you're not into space, then you should watch The Day the Dinosaurs Died, which is another single hour Nova episode that explains in really gruesome detail how the Chicxulub impact actually wiped out the vast majority of life on Earth. It was awesome. And if you're not into dinosaurs or space, I guess go watch the one called Secrets of the Shining Knight, which is all about armor crafting using techniques. Did you know that we don't actually know how to make armor like they did in the Dark Ages?
Yeah.
Knowledge from the Dark Ages is lost. What the...
Yeah,
that's a bit ironic now, isn't it?
How bass backwards is that? But anyway, the dino dying one didn't make me have the sads. The Cassini probe one made me have the sads. Oddly enough, I actually teared up at the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I think that has filled 3 minutes now. The recording has surely started.
And if you're not interested in any of those things, thank you for listening to our podcast anyway.
Yeah. Which has nothing to do with space, dinosaurs, or knights. I guess occasionally we do talk about knights. Yeah. All right, so we good? Everybody good? Let's go.
Yes.
Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is episode 559 of the Mana Pool. We're very sorry that it's been for us, an exceedingly long time since there was an episode.
Yes.
Because first it was July 4th, so we just didn't record that day because nobody was around. Well, I was, but no one else was. And I wasn't supposed to be. But that's a different story. And then the next week, it was going to be the Chewy and Brian show, which sounded awful. So
I would totally not like and subscribe to that show. Coming to a streaming service near you in August 2019? No, we're not doing that.
That would have been an episode 101 all over again.
That would have been Brian talking for 2 hours and Chewy saying, yeah, every now and then. Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, it's just to say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're back.
We are. And so we're here this week. I am Chewy, also known as the Angel, because that's right, it's an RPG episode. And with me, as always, are these other people.
I'm Brian. I am usually the tangent master, but in a twist of fate, I must be the one guiding these guys along and trying to keep them more or less tapped down. Although if they want to wander the world, that's fine. But, there's a plot out there somewhere. Maybe we'll find it today. and I'm the DM or GM or whatever you want to call me.
I'm Mike. I'm the soldier, Karim, navigator, merfolk puncher, screw up extraordinaire.
And I'm Dirk, who's Alaric, and I am the adventurer who will deadeye something far, far away, but somehow get smashed in the face when up close.
Didn't you like trip over something in the last episode? Was that you?
I couldn't do anything in the last. It's like the one episode. I mean, I was like blowing things away, and then the very next time we did it was I'm fumbling over stuff. I'm missing targets, and I'm getting like pounded in the face by everything. I mean, last episode was terrible for me.
Last episode, for those that need a bit of a refresher, we didn't really do a whole lot plot related at all. These guys were wandering around in the jungle, and one of the very first things to happen is they wander into an area, and they're like, this is pretty nice. And Dirk gets mauled in the leg from behind by a fleet-foot panther and spends most of the rest of that time like trying to be like not dying.
Because I've got that I was attacked by an ant. The ant bit my arm and crushes it.
Yeah, that was later. You just, yeah.
Well, it was like, yeah, I'm gonna skin this panther. This will be great. And then proceeded to, the pelt was like my bad luck charm.
It was, because first of all, you're in the middle of like hacking it up and putting it on when the mate comes, and you're like, hello. And the angel actually manages to spread her wings and look really intimidating, along with a little help from Mike. And actually get it to go away. It comes back for revenge later. But yeah, then you stumble on some ants, literally and figuratively. You got your arm crushed. You're just having a rough time of it, Alaric. I'm gonna keep saying Alaric so I can remember who's Alaric and who's Karim, and we'll see how well that goes. I'm gonna print something out just real quick.
Even though it's Alaric.
Alaric, what? Sorry, not to
Well,
sound
that's like
culturally
we say paladin and
insensitive.
Brian says paladin.
Oh yeah.
What? No, it's paladin.
The great Northern Paladin. I forgot about that.
Sam has been trying to tell me it's pronounced tomato, and I think she's just trying to get under my skin.
And clearly it's working. Also, you might notice that Dirk sounds a little funny. We, when we started on the call, we had a bit of a small panic because Dirk couldn't be heard. And then after a good long while, he types, "My mic is broken." And we're like, oh no. Because we wanted to do the RPG episode last week, and Dirk's like, "I'm going to be there." And then Mike goes, "I'm not going to make it either." And I'm like, huh. Because we can't do an RPG episode short a person. That just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's
It's
like,
true.
my mic is broken. And we're like, oh no.
So
Because we have
Dirk,
zero backup plans.
So Dirk, is it Alaric or Alaric?
Alaric.
Alaric. I'll get it wrong 5 more times. Yeah. So I'm like,
Alaric
yeah,
is
Dirk
similar.
can't make it, so Alaric is out. He went to go to the bathroom. He hasn't come back yet. What do you guys do for like a couple days?
I will guard the bathroom door with my sword.
So, I want to talk real quick before we get into the plot. As everyone that's been listening for any amount of time to these episodes knows, that this is an evolving game structure. And we knew from the beginning that I'd be changing things up. And I've actually been working, since the last episode, I've been trying to tighten up some combat mechanics in particular, because combat is really a lot of the crux of this, although you've been doing a lot of social stuff as well. But I've noticed, we haven't seen a whole lot of spell slinging except for when you're setting a couple things on fire, and that's all well and good. And Mike in particular had expressed some concern in the last episode about, like, when he formed a mana bond with the land, he's like, I really still don't understand how magic works. I'm like, okay. So I haven't changed the way that everything works, but I'm going to be working a lot more on skills, because I feel like there's, aside from some of the social skills you've used a little bit, there really hasn't been that much incentive to do some of these. So when you get into combat, when it's your turn, you can still do what you've been doing, but I'm trying to streamline it a little bit. You can take, when it's your turn, you can take what we're calling, I'm breaking down actions into minor actions, regular actions, and major actions. And basically, like attacking something with a weapon or bare fists that you're proficient in is a regular action. Casting a spell that costs 3 mana or less, convert mana cost or less, is a regular action. You can go and do that. And you can also take a minor action, which is the easiest way to type that. It would be calling a mana source, basically summoning a land so that you can tap it for mana later. So you could, in one of your turns, get a land and go ahead and then cast a spell that costs 1, or you can get a land and attack, something like that. And then a major action would be casting a big spell that costs 4 or more, or making an attack, but it's with a weapon you're not proficient in, so it takes a bit longer, and that might cause. First of all, you can't do that with a minor action. You can't do that and call a land. And you also, that may prevent you from taking an action at all next turn. You might be what we consider tapped, for those of you in the vernacular. So you'll have to take that into consideration. Because this is an evolving model, I'll be sure to let you know, okay, that's a minor, that's a regular. But for the most part, I'm trying to streamline this. I don't think it's going to change what you've been doing thus far too much. But I want to make sure you understand how using the mana works. Everybody got that?
It's so nice that the first we're hearing of this is once the episode starts.
Yeah, I thought about going into it earlier, but I'm like, for those that have been paying attention, listeners following along with it, I'm hoping this will make some sense too. And I'm happy to review it.
Yeah, until now, we've just, I think a turn is, you can move and you can take an action. And
But there was some question about when can I do the mana or anything like that. So hopefully this makes a little more sense. But again, nothing that you have done so far, I think, it would not fit into this. So there you go.
Yeah. Hey, can you remind me what exhaustion is in this game? What makes something exhausted?
What makes something exhausted? That's evolving as well. Where do you see the term used? Because I'm looking at the.
Well, there's a few skills that do something when someone's exhausted, like the exploit weakness skill that I don't know if I've been able to use yet.
Right.
It adds extra damage if the defender is exhausted.
What I might do is I might just change that to tapped, and if that target has already used a regular or major action. So does that make sense? If they have done something that if they've already attacked or if they've already performed some kind of major action. Does that make sense?
Yeah, major sounds more fair than counting regular. Counting regular would make that ability overpowered.
Okay. So if they've really overextended themselves. All right. I appreciate the feedback. As I've told everybody, hey, we're coming up with this, not necessarily on the fly, like I'm just like writing this down right now. Like, oh, this is a new rule. But being willing and open to change the model, I think. I want to make sure everybody's having a good time with this. So, I think that's probably fair as well, especially for, like you said, exploit weakness. So if you have a question about if something is exhausted or not, I'll be happy to help you out with that. Okay? So that's I just want to make sure you guys knew that, once again, it doesn't change anything that you're doing. We may consider some of the social skills a minor action. That way, if you're trying to do that on the fly, that's okay. And outside of combat, it's really, you don't have to be like, I take a
I'll
turn
attack
to do
and then
this.
cook.
I hit you in the face and then I call my mom.
But do you call your mom while you're hitting me in the face? Hey, Mom, hold on a sec. Boom.
What did I say? I said I hit you in the face and then I call my mom. I know what I said.
All right. Okay. So, and does anyone want to... We're not going to recount the whole adventure, but basically last episode, you were traveling through the jungle. So I just want to know, do any of the players know what your present goal or goals are?
We were still trying to get to.
We're trying to find someone.
Headed north to Nivelier to find Icolnir.
Icolnir?
Sounds right.
That is the gist of it. Do you know why you're heading to Nivelier to speak or find Icolnir?
Icolnir has the keys to Danither. Danither is
Yeah, we think
here is coming.
we think we can get a way to get into the tower by going to Icolnir first.
You
Right,
came.
because Icolnir said your key is ready or something like that.
Oh yeah, there was a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donathier was the originator, the person that apparently everybody on the plane looked up to in some fashion or another. You went to his tower. The tower's name. Do I have the name of the tower? Do you know the name of the tower? I don't know if it really matters.
Tower is dull red.
The tower is named Noatun. Noatun.
No, it's yeah.
And then, you found the letter, and so you were heading toward Nivelier. Do you remember anything about that you were told or otherwise about Icolnir?
We were told, do not be fooled by her appearance.
There you go.
Oh.
The shape.
Okay. And you were wandering through the jungle and being attacked by various animals. You laid down for the night, you played some nice music, and you wake up in the morning all refreshed.
By the way, Alaric, please do not be skinning any animals.
Yeah, I will refrain from that this go round.
As you gather your things to start packing up, you do notice that some clouds are rolling over the sun. It hasn't started raining yet, but there is a tangible increase in humidity in the air.
Moist.
Moistness. But it's early in the day. You have yourself some breakfast, I assume, and you get ready to go. Anything else you want to do before you head out?
Where are we?
Here.
We're in the jungle.
Right.
I've
Whose
already
fault is
made a
that?
mana bond with the jungle. Oh, it's probably mine.
No, it's definitely yours, Shorty.
That happened a long time ago. Why you gotta bring up old stuff?
A long time. It was like 3 days ago.
Well, if you're ready to head out, what direction do you want to? Who's leading the party, and what direction do you want to?
He just said he wanted to make a mana bond with the jungle.
I thought he said he already did.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I was saying I already did.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, look,
Yeah.
I did too. It's a green
Yes.
pain land.
All three of you
Huh.
did. So yeah.
All right. Well, obviously our miserable excuse for a guide is going to guide us.
Of course.
Which direction do you want to be heading in?
North.
North, right?
I would
That's
say
the.
we were north was towards the tower, right?
North was towards the tower.
Or
Wait.
towards. Wait, where are we
Nivelle.
going?
Wait a minute.
We're
No,
trying to
not
go to
toward the
Nivelle.
tower. I'm sorry. I said
No,
that
we're heading towards
somebody's.
Nivelier.
Right.
Yes,
My bad.
you said that, and I copied you. Like, of course it is.
Of course it is.
That's my fault. That's my fault.
Okay.
So you want to head north, is what you're
Yes.
saying. Okay. I'm here. All right. So why don't you go ahead and roll a d6 for me, please?
Okay. 1.
Oh,
One.
Jesus.
And your tracking skill.
My tracking
is
skill
one.
is 2.
Your tracking skill is 2. So, all right. Just need to take a quick check here. Where's my d12? Who has my d12? Did you steal my d12?
Sorry.
All right. All right. You're wandering along. It looks like the vegetation's growing a bit more sparse. You come into a more open area, and but it's densely wooded on both sides. Directly in front of you appears to be starting to open. The path is starting to open a bit, but you see a nest of pythons and you see.
They have shotguns. What?
Need to consult this table. Sorry. Where is that?
Oh, Chewie, you're a good guesser.
I am good at this game. Oh, by the way, chat, I expect to see bonks in the chat when we hit someone. And bad at this game when we screw stuff up. Can you guys do that for us? No, not yet, Stark.
All right. Amongst some of the trees on the side, you see what appears to be several pythons, at least 5 or 6, in the shade, and they're most of them appear to be sleeping, as far as you can tell from your knowledge of reptilian behavior. Although there appears to be at least one that, as you enter the area, raises its head off the ground and eyes you warily.
Such a pretty snake.
Yeah, well, I'd rather not walk into the middle of a group full of pythons, so I'm going to back up and see if we can go around.
Yeah, is there an option to try to sneak around them?
They are, as you're coming into this area,
Turn to page 18.
What's that?
I said turn to page 18.
As you're coming into this area, you notice that, again, because they're mostly sticking to the tree line, they are directly on your right. You cannot. You can try to proceed directly in front of you to continue along the path you were going, or you can turn and you can try and if you don't want to encounter them, you can try and either stick to the middle of the path or hug the left side of the path. The left side, the trees don't appear to have enough space to slip between them, so you can't make a hard left, or you can go back the way you came.
Okay, so we're on a more or less well-defined path through the
You got it.
woods.
You got it.
Okay, I just wondered.
At this point, there's not one straight path through any of the area of Trivester, but this appears to be open in a path-like direction. So
Okay.
Hey,
Well, do
you guys think I'm strong enough to lift you up one at a time and fly you over top of them so they can't even think about messing with us?
Do you feel strong enough to do it?
I mean, you never ask a lady that sort of question, Karim.
You brought it up.
But I was actually asking you guys out of character. Do you think that I'm strong enough to carry you over?
Oh. It's worth a shot.
The angel's power is 2, and she has a +2 for flying. So if you want to give it a shot, you can. Are you looking to go over the trees, or just basically continue along the path, but remove yourself up high enough that you're out of there?
I would grab them somehow in such a way that I could carry them,
okay,
and then move up and to the left.
Up and to the left. Okay.
And to the left. Up.
Okay.
And I'm sorry.
Mostly up until I got you, but you want to continue to move through this area. You're not trying to do any aerial acrobatics or anything like that.
Yeah, I just want to, and then I'd fly back and pick up the other one.
Okay, so and you're gonna do them one at a time. All right.
Yeah.
Do you guys consent to this?
Yeah. Hey guys, what do you think?
Yes.
You think I could fly you over the big ass snakes? So because I love, cutting off snakes' heads with swords, but they're just sort of laying there, and that doesn't seem very sporting.
Yes, let's give this a try.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Who do you want to pick up first?
Okay, here's my plan. Alaric.
Yes.
You should knock an arrow. And just in case something goes wrong and cover us, and I will carry Karim over.
That's a pretty smart plan. So, okay.
So does this work for you guys?
All right.
Like a plan.
All right.
All right. Perfect. Well, I would like for the angel for Chewie to roll a d20
20.
and Mike, huh?
I said 20.
20. Yes.
No, I was picking up my D20.
Okay. And Mike, you have a
Yes.
power of 3. Are you grabbing? Are you like letting the angel just carry you, or are you gonna grab her arm, or how are you doing this?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna help. I'm just
Okay.
gonna hang there.
Okay, you're not just gonna be like, pick me up and carry me over.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
gonna carry him by the scruff of his neck
Yeah,
like
just-
a mama
just-
cat.
Okay, then,
Just
then
put my arms
Mike,
up in the air and be like, eh.
Mike, roll a d10, please.
Okay.
All right, I rolled. No, I rolled a 10.
Okay,
I rolled a 1.
you rolled a 10, and Mike rolled a 1. Okay,
Yes.
Oh Jesus.
all right. So you pick Alaric up. You're holding him. He's helping Karim. You pick up Karim. Oh my God! I'm gonna move Dirk's character sheet way over to the side. All right, you pick up Karim, and immediately he starts to like slide out of your hand, and you grab him a little more strongly, and you start to lift him up. You're going over the pythons, and once again he starts to slip. As he starts to slip, the snake that's awake starts making a hissing sound, and some of the others start waking up and raising their heads. But you do manage to hold on to Karim long enough that once you're clear of the snakes and a good couple feet beyond them, he slips out of your grasp and falls to the ground in a bit of a daze. There's a couple feet left to go, so he hits the ground a little harder than he might otherwise, but he's not physically injured, but he's a little shaken up by the experience. The snakes are now looking at him, but none of them have moved out from under the tree.
Sorry about that, Shorty.
I didn't have a good.
Yeah, you were all sweaty. This is all your fault. All right, you good? Can I go get Alaric now?
Yeah.
Not you.
Oh, you're not asking me. You're asking me. Okay. All right.
You all right though? Like for real?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay,
I'll be
well, pull out a weapon in case things go south. I'm gonna go pick him up.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Chewie D20, Dirk or Alaric,
There you go.
a D10, please.
Hey, yep. I rolled a 10 again. Good at this game.
10. I rolled 4.
Okay. As the angel comes back over, you almost leap right into her arms. You grab hold, and you don't really have any incidents. You're able to land. The judges give you all but the judge from France give you a 10 on your landing. The judge from France gives you a 5. So
That jerk.
yeah, you're down. At this point, you see the pythons starting. They're pretty much all awake, and they're starting to hiss. One of them looks like it's starting to move out of the shade.
I mean, well, now we're on the other side, so we could just book it. Hey, guys, the snakes? I don't think they
Yeah.
appreciated that.
No, I don't either. I say we move.
Yeah.
Let's hustle out of here.
Okay. All right, Mike, roll a d6, please.
All right, here we go. 1.
Lord have mercy. Wait, is that 3 ones in a row you've rolled?
It's
I've only rolled 2 today. No, wait. Yes, you're right. No, yes, it is.
okay.
You might want to just die.
You start to run away. However, Alaric starts to get snared on some tree roots and does a face plant.
Why are you so clumsy?
I feel like this is a Benny Hill thing.
Why did Alaric trip?
I meant Karim.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
I'm moving Alaric even further over to the side.
You're gonna ball up
Karim.
Alaric and throw him over your shoulder.
Karim starts to move away, does a face plant. Angel picks him up, dusts him off a little bit, starts to right himself, and he gets slapped in the face with a tree branch and gets knocked back a couple feet, almost like something is not wanting you to proceed, apparently. At this point, there's at least 4 snakes heading across the clearing, but you've still got, I'd say, a good still couple feet from them. So at this point, your formation is the angels out in front, followed by Alaric. Yes, Alaric. And then Karim, who's been knocked back a little bit. Do you guys want to give him a second, or do you want to all keep just booking it out at higher speed this time?
Well, man, if he's face planted, we should probably like stop and turn and laugh at him and make sure he's all right.
He's not down in the dirt this time. He's been knocked back, but he's still on his feet.
Oh, okay. What? Hey, you all right back there?
Yeah, I'm trying. This stupid forest.
You know, it might hear you.
Maybe that's where all the problems are. Keep saying bad things about the forest.
The sound of hissing starts to fill your ears to an uncomfortable degree.
All right, yeah, we should keep moving.
Let's try again.
Lead this on and don't screw this up.
All right, Chewy, roll a d6.
D6. That's this one. Ha! I rolled a 6. Oh yeah. Wait.
All right.
Oh yeah, it's a D6. I was like, wait, is it a 9? No, it's definitely not a 9.
The angel manages to lead you out of the area without any further incident. You hear the sound of hissing grow softer and softer in your ears as you continue through the jungle. After a few minutes of walking, you pause to take a quick rest. You continue on, and all of a sudden, the jungle falls away behind you. In front of you lies one of the largest mountains you've ever seen. It's still distant away that it will take you the better part of the morning to get there, but you see what appears to be some sort of carving away at the base of the mountain. You can't tell exactly what it is, whether it's a building or some sort of natural formation at this distance.
Cool.
All right then. So
but you have some essentially some scrublands in front of you. You can look, and you don't see any moving figures in the distance to any side. The jungle is behind you.
Okay. Well, we should still keep heading in that direction.
Yeah, continue to proceed.
As you continue north, you notice that the temperature, which was rather sweltering in the jungle, has dropped by at least a good 15 degrees, if not more, just as soon as you were outside of the tree line. And as you continue closer and closer to the mountain, it starts dropping more and more noticeably as you get closer to it. As you approach the base of the mountain, you do see that there is some sort of the mountain itself looks, from the direction you're coming at it, as though parts of it have been sculpted away, although you can't tell how much of it is natural and how much of it is man-made. It appears to be, it has that organic feel to it, but it looks almost too convenient and too planned to be just a natural formation by itself.
Okay, so there's no recognizable figures. It just looks like someone did this.
Correct.
Okay.
Finally arriving at the bottom of the mountain, you see in front of you what you can only describe as a fortification. Directly in front of you, at the ground level of the mountain, is a series of metal spikes arranged in such a way that it would create a perimeter fence, but there are gaps in it, and it looks like it's currently unmanned. And then further back from that, at the beginning of the slope of the mountain, you see what appears to be a staircase in the general middle of the area from how you're facing it, and it evens off into a level field beyond that. and then you happen to notice as you crane your neck, you start looking upwards. This pattern repeats where there's an open area in a crescent shape cut into the mountain with some sort of feature on that level, and then another staircase leading up, and you can tell there's multiple levels to this. At this point, it goes high enough that you cannot see how many levels there are, but you do notice that on the second level appear to be a series of long-range weaponry, including catapults and some fashion of cannons.
So I'm guessing I should not just fly
Fly.
up there and look around.
Yeah.
That seems like just asking to have some manner of surface-to-air projectile shot through one of my wings, and then I will not be happy.
Yeah, so I think we should still keep going, but before I walk through a gap in the fence, I'm going to stop and look up at the fortification, wave my arms above my head before stepping through the gap, just to make it clear I'm not trying to sneak in.
Okay. All right, you are Karim.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have any kind of diplomacy or anything like that. You do have stealth, but you're purposely going out and you're being like, "Hey, look at me. We come in peace," kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute.
Would negotiate not be useful skill?
Wait.
We have to have someone to negotiate
I was saying,
with.
did we see people?
Oh, that's true.
So far, you have not noticed any.
Ooh, I've got spiritual awareness. Is there any reason to use any of that in this particular case?
You can essentially reach out and try and determine if there's any strong divine or negative emotions or mana around. So
Okay, sure. I'll give that a shot.
okay, so you have spiritual awareness of 2. Well, that roll me for this. Let's go ahead and roll a d6, please.
D6 says 5.
Okay. You can feel that there are there's some form of life coming from this area. It does not appear to be incredibly well populated as far as you can tell. You reach out and but the closer you get to the mountain, you have this almost this how do I describe it? You feel an immense pressure, almost like you feel almost like you've stuck your head inside of an oven as soon as you try and push your feelings into the mountain itself. But you feel other sentient beings around.
All right. I then relay this to these two. You know.
Okay, cool. Nice to know it's not abandoned.
Yeah.
Since we're especially since we're trying to look for someone.
I don't know if it's good to know that it's not abandoned or bad to know that it's not abandoned.
Okay, yeah, I
But
guess that's a good point.
I do have a large sword. So I don't feel too worried about it. Okay, then.
Proceed in?
Do what?
All right, so
Proceed in, or
is
I think so.
Kareem's heading in? Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right, as you approach the perimeter, a gruff voice yells at Kareem to halt where he is.
I halt where I am.
As you try and look around, you don't see anything at first, and then a squat figure, heavily bearded, steps out behind one of the spike formations. He looks you all up and down silently, and then he tells you to come forward slowly.
I go forward slowly.
What do you want here?
Brian, let me know if I'm mixing up names. We're here to see Icolnir on some business. That was the name of the person, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the person. That's right. You're
Okay.
fine. I'm not going to be like, "Arr." Upon hearing the name Icolnir,
We're looking for
The-
Steve. Hello, you got Steve?
upon hearing the name Steve, no, upon hearing the name Icolnir, the dwarf looks down at the ground, seems to stroke his beard for a while, and then looks up at you. How many weapons do you have?
I mean,
Me personally, let me look for a second. 1, 2, 3. Looks like I got 3 on me. I got a scimitar and I got a couple daggers here.
He
I had a
turns to each of
sword.
you.
sorry, I'm very proud of my sword.
And Alaric?
I have a bow.
Did you have a sword too, or was that just me?
So
And-
I have
and him?
I have a bow and a buckle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, because you punch things, right?
The dwarf seems a bit startled by this, and at first you're not sure why, but then he expresses, and you were able to get through the deep green with such meager provisions? At this point, he looks impressed, but somewhat surprised.
That's a pretty sweet sword.
We've had a lot of practice trekking through the wilderness here.
I have a
It's
quick
past
aside
meters now.
where I stroke the handle of my sword and say, "He didn't mean to call you meager, baby."
The dwarf thinks about things and says, "I meant no offense, but I don't know that that'll be sufficient for Icolnir. Still, why do you want to see him? Her? Why do you want to see her?"
We're looking for a key to
the
tower.
name of the tower.
Yeah. We heard that Icolnir had one.
Was it the tower, or was it a key for something else? I don't remember now. Hang on. This could be important. What? That was for you, Brian. What was this key to?
You
Do
said
we know?
you said give me a minute, so I thought you were consulting your notes. Yes, it's for the tower.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, because the door was locked. Right.
Okay. At this, the dwarf heaves a great sigh. A key. He throws his hands up. A key. They came all this way for a key. He looks at you hardly. Do you even know who Icolnir is?
No, sir, I'm afraid we do not.
He looks a bit put off. Icolnir is not only the central figure of our civilization here, but she is the greatest smith that has ever lived. And you come looking for a key. And he looks just so disappointed he could spit at you.
I mean, I suppose I could use a more impressive sword, but that
I mean, to be honest, I'm a little disappointed in me too right now.
right?
When he hears the angel say that maybe she could use a slightly better sword, he perks up a bit. He asks to see the sword.
Oh, I walk up and show him my claymore.
He looks it over. He kind of gives it a quick looks over, and he turns back to you and he says, "What all have you been able to kill with this thing?"
Oh, loads of stuff.
Don't tell him about all the animals we ran away from.
No one's mentioning that.
He hands the sword back to you with some greater appreciation. He says, "If you've managed to do well with that, I think you'll do well with Icolnir, as long as you show her respect." And he looks each of you harshly in the eye. He waits another minute, sizing up, then he turns around. He takes a flag out of his pocket and waves it in front of the air. You hear something like a signal in response from higher up. And he turns back to you.
Sorry.
I don't know that they have air horns, but I'll allow it.
Hooty hoo, hooty hoo.
He turns back to you and he says, I will allow you to proceed for now. Keep in mind that the great city of Nevelir is one of the most protected fortifications that we have ever produced. If I did not allow you to pass, you would have been shot down where you stood. And again, he reminds you, please be sure to give our matriarch the respect she deserves.
Oh, hey, sir, we appreciate it. What is your name, in case we're asked? As Brian
He
goes,
laughs
crap,
a
I
bit.
didn't think of that.
He laughs a bit while the GM does some quick searching for random dwarven names.
I was just about to say, randomdwarfgenerator.com.
I bet that's a website, actually.
He's like, my name is Steve. I'm Steve. That was the one you was looking for. You what, mate?
And you can always
This
go
is
with
Stev, the dwarf. My name is Stev, the dwarf.
the
Thank you for coming to our home. He steps aside graciously. No one had asked his name in quite a long time. He actually says, you're the first visitors we've had in many, many, many years.
Cool. Well, good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
very much.
Stev tells you, please proceed up the staircases.
This
You
fool
can't
really
miss
says
them.
Steph.
It is now. Stev says, please, to get to Icolnir, please continue up the staircases that run through the center of the fortification. You can't miss them. He gives a hearty laugh. We dwarves are wonderful at our construction. You won't miss a step as sure as you can be.
All right.
I would show you around myself, but we have had more creatures wandering out of the jungle lately than we're comfortable with. So someone needs to stay here and make sure that the defenses are secure. And he waves you adios.
Oh, I didn't know dwarves spoke Spanish. That's awesome.
What a dwarf looks like? I have never seen one of these travel.
Really? I mean, he looked pretty dwarvish to me.
Well, he doesn't look like a vampire, a werewolf, or any of the myriad of gods that are on Theros. So this is the first dwarf I've ever met.
Hey, yeah.
That's neat.
Quick, take out your creature type sheet and put a check mark next to dwarf. Cool.
Man, if you find a
Is there one on here?
tiefling, and oh crap, what's the name of the salamander person?
Amphin.
Yeah, if you find a tiefling and an amphin, you'll have bingo.
No, but I appreciate Dirk keeping it in character. Very cool. You continue up the through the row of metal spikes, and you notice the occasional dwarf scattered here or there manning some of the fortifications. And as you go up the first staircase, you go to the second level of the fortification, which appears to be all the long-range weaponry, including catapults and some cannons, some of some very ornate design. Have any of you ever been to... Anybody ever been to Chandra's home plane?
Kaladesh?
Kaladesh. It's not in the notes that any of you have, but I don't have any objection to someone saying you have been. It's not like all of you have literally been on two planes your entire lives. Does anyone feel like they would have been to Kaladesh?
I probably wouldn't.
I mean, it seems like a place I would have, just because I get the feeling that since the angel's very old, she gets around.
She does get around.
Well, the thing is, she doesn't remember her past. She wouldn't remember being on a plane of that sort.
Well, she doesn't remember her whole past, but it's not like she woke up yesterday and was like total recall. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I lost my memory of who I am, but everything that's happened to me since then, I'm well
since
aware
then, right? So, well,
Well, I
we'll
feel-
say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dirk.
No, I was just saying that would be your prerogative to say, hey, this sort of stuff looks familiar.
Yeah.
If
And that's essentially where I was
have a
going with it.
background of-
Was you notice the angel notices some particularly interesting design to some of the cannons that had some curves and weaves to them that and some interesting shaping of the metal that you've only seen once or twice before. But it's in stark contrast to the catapults, which are made from anything from obvious felled trees to more ornate designs as well. And there appears to be the odd stone structure for archers with I forget the little slots where you can shoot pew 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 from behind safely. So
murder holes.
basically,
That
murder
is the
holes.
best thing ever.
The little slot things. So it's a good at least 40 feet up from the ground floor to the first floor. And as you look up, you notice that each of the levels, of which you're beginning to realize there's probably at least 5 or 6, seems to go. The stairs seem to get longer, and the next level that much higher up between each level.
Hey, Mike,
What?
remember when you asked what it takes to exhaust someone?
And there's no elevator. Do you want to hang out, poke around here, or just keep heading up?
Just keep going. Are there any designs carved into the steps, or are they just plain steps?
Good question. Good question. The steps themselves appear to be purely functional.
Okay.
There's no handrails and there's no handicapped accessible ramp.
Terrible.
You get sued at any time. You do notice, once again, that the battlements appear to be occupied by dwarves, although here and there you do see the occasional centaur. And it looks like the centaurs are in as much armor as could cover their body. You also notice that as you go upward, you've once again lost another at least 5 degrees, and the air is noticeably cooler. All right. If you go ahead and continue up, you continue up the stairs, and as you reach the 3rd floor, counting from the ground up, this one appears to be narrower than the 2nd. So if you picture a series of crescents, the one up from the ground floor that you were on, the 2nd floor essentially, was I honestly I'll admit I didn't put an exact yardage to it, but it's fairly big. This one does not go quite as far in either direction, and again, it looks like it's carved out of the mountain. You don't see a great deal of external structures, but you begin to notice some structures that look like they extend out of the mountain, and they are carved into the face of the mountain, and they are done in such a way that there's almost no way that it would be entirely too convenient for the mountain to be shaped that way naturally, and yet at certain places it looks just unrefined enough, just unclean and enough unrefined, I guess is what I should stick with, that it almost appears to be a natural formation, and it blends in with the mountain itself.
Cool.
As you're looking around, a door opens in one of the buildings, and a little goblin comes out. He sizes you up, starts to reach for his dagger, and then relaxes. Comes over and says, "Who are you?"
What do you mean, who are we? We're travelers. Who are you?
Travelers? He looks surprised. He scratches his head. "Oh, I suppose you're not new recruits then." "Okay." He sizes you up. "This here's the barracks level. If you need a short nap, you can come in here, I suppose, but we can't be putting you up for too long. Around this time of the year, we don't have too many supplies but what we need for ourselves." I suppose if they let you up this far without sounding the alarm, you're all right to be here. You going up to see the missus?
Yes, we are. Stev let us in.
Ah, Stev. That's a good dwarf. The goblin looks you up again, says, all right, you know the way to go. Just make sure you show proper respect to our mistress. Otherwise, he laughs a little bit. Well, I guess I won't need to worry about you if you don't. He stretches a bit, takes a look around, and proceeds to enter into another barracks than the one he just entered. Though he goes into another barracks, not the one that he came out of.
Why do I get the feeling that as he walked past us, he was scratching his ass?
Just a little bit. He was a goblin.
Yeah, exactly.
What level was the barrack level?
3. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you ground, second, third. You're on the third level, and it appears to be living quarters, essentially barracks.
I wonder why a goblin would be in charge of new recruits for dwarves, unless this isn't just a dwarven place.
We saw centaurs too.
You did?
I was really surprised. Yeah, we saw centaurs coming up here. They were even
He said
armored.
armored.
I'm really surprised to see centaurs mixing with dwarves. That doesn't really happen where I come from.
Well, I mean, why would it? I guess. Hang on, I must have zoned out. Where did we see centaurs?
On the level with
second.
all the
cannon.
defensive weaponry, the catapults and the cannons.
Oh, I think I was reading over my backstory to figure out if there was any hint of how long ago I lost my memory. And there is.
Okay.
So I missed that part. All right, then.
Yeah, there were centaurs in full armor. It was pretty cool.
That sounds heavy.
They are.
All right. Just... Have you noticed that we seem to be walking along and then things happen to us and then we walk some more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess
That
we
is
should
how
keep
that
walking
is how
and see
things
what else
usually
happens
work.
to us.
Yes. I mean, if you stay too long in one spot, something will definitely happen. But because I want to make it feel natural, but that is the general order of things. Yes, you walk and things happen. That if you think back to every RPG episode, you're walking and then something happens. Maybe
Usually
next
something's
time,
trying to kill us.
maybe next time you can be flying and something. You can continue going up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Once again, you head up, and once again, the stairs seem to take longer and longer to go up, and you're definitely heading a good ways up the mountain now. The air temperature is dropping considerably. However, you do notice as you start up the stairs that behind the barracks there appear to be some fissures in the earth, that an enormous amount of heat that you can feel from some distance away appears to be issuing from. And it occurs to you that the placement of the barracks close to these heat vents is not accidental and actually serves as a sort of warming system for the living quarters. But anywhere you get beyond the heat vents more than, say, 10, 20 yards or so, and it's getting quite bitterly cold. As you come up this set of stairs to what would be the fourth level, you look around and you see once again another series of buildings set into the mountain. You smell food issuing from some of those buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of one, an ogre is drying some meat on a line. A couple of carcasses from some animals, some large animals. He doesn't seem to be paying you any kind of attention.
You guys hungry at all?
Yeah, we have been walking a lot today, but Do you think we should take care of business first?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Do we want to talk to the local and get a little more information before we press on?
Ooh, I bet he tells us to pay respect to his mistress, which we were totally gonna do anyway. So,
But yeah, if you have some questions in mind for him, go ahead.
Okay, so who goes up to the ogre?
I'll go up.
You'll go up to the ogre. Alaric goes up to the ogre. Do you approach him so that he can see you coming?
Yeah.
This is somewhat relevant. Okay.
maybe,
All right.
maybe like whistling as you go. What ho, good citizen!
The ogre looks up from his butchery type activities. Once again, he looks around and he says, "Who are you?" in a loud, booming voice.
My name is Alaric. I come to taste of your fine meat selection, your fine food selection.
At this, the ogre's lips curl up into what is probably the ugliest smile you've ever seen in your life, but it's definitely a smile. Of course you have, he booms. My food is the best around. Everyone in the camp can't get enough of it, and shows you got some good sense, Mr. Alaric, for coming to see me.
What's food do you have available?
He says, "This here is the kitchens area. You know, we've got pretty much anything you could ask for. The best meats, the best grubs, the best weeds, and the best ale you could ever hope for."
I will go and pick a few pieces out and maybe a piece of meat, something of that sort, and a drink. What do I owe you?
He looks you up and down. Travelers, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, I figured as much. You're definitely not recruits. He folds his arms. Around here, everybody pulls their weight. We don't really have a price for anything because everybody's got a job to do. He crosses his arms, kind of nudges with his head over his shoulder a little bit to his right side. Behind me is the kitchen, so you can take whatever you want there as long as you don't take too much. He gestures a little further down, waves his arm even further in that direction. Says, "We have some guest quarters as well, from when we used to receive travelers on a regular basis. You can use them if you want, but sorry to say, they're in pretty rough shape. We haven't had visitors from the outside in, well, more years than I can count. Which really isn't that high. But it's been a long time."
A self-aware ogre.
Do you know how long it's been since travelers have come? Has it been since you've been here?
He thinks about it. Honestly, I'm not really sure. Math is not my strength. And I don't really recall. I think there might have been a traveler a long time ago when I was a kid. But, you know, things have been hard. We've had to keep the camp up, so I haven't really thought about travelers in a while. So, anyway, if you want the food's in there.
One last thing before we move on. We want to show great respect to the mistress. We
Of
want
course.
to know. Do what?
Go ahead.
What can we do? Can you tell us anything about her, so that we may not offend her?
He looks you up and down, and his smile, if at all possible, gets even bigger. Of course you want to show her some respect. That's the only thing that makes sense. Anybody that comes to see her that she doesn't like, that she doesn't feel respects her, doesn't come back down the mountain. Best I can say is, if you're a good person, and if you're a strong person, you'll be just fine. And as long as you don't ask too much of her either. She's very proud of what she does.
All right.
Cool.
Good to know.
Okay.
He picks up his butcher's knife and continues to work on the meat in front of him.
All right. So, do you guys want to get food, or do we want to go ahead and move on?
I mean, he did say it was right there, and we could have some.
Yeah.
It seems kind of like a waste to just not partake. He did say it was the finest in the whatever he said. Maybe just a snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
Let's get
equivalent, the whatever this is equivalent of like road beer. Just grab us like a piece of meat and a piece of meat and an ale and book it or something. I don't know.
So you
Yeah,
want to
since
head
we were invited so kindly.
Okay. So you walk into the kitchen area and you notice that it's set up cafeteria style and against the far wall of the cavern, because from the outside it appears to be a building. The inside, it is hollowed out. You see a stone table with all sorts of food lined up on it. The area appears to be deserted at the time. Looks like you got here between breakfast and lunch. A dwarf looks up from the other side of the table, says, "Huh? Who are you?"
We
Man,
are
we should make a
travelers.
sign that says "We are travelers" and just put it on Karim's big head.
Do you get the sense that maybe they're not used to seeing new people?
That is exactly the sense I'm getting. Yeah. Hey guys, I got this. Hello. We are
Hello,
travelers
who are you?
from far away. We've been sent here. No, we are here to visit your mistress, but we were invited to come partake of your glorious food because the ogre outside said that this was the best.
At that point, he laughs so hard he doubles over. He's pounding the table with his fist, and when he looks up at you, he said, "Oog told you his food was the best."
That is what he said.
He wipes a tear from his eye and he says, "It probably is the best that Oog has ever had. God bless him. He does his very best." And sure enough, everyone here appreciates his efforts. But rest assured, and he winks, I make sure to get at the food before anybody else has to eat it. Well, if he said you're all right, you're welcome to come in. Just remember that we only have so much to go around. As long as you have a little bit before you're on your way, that should be just fine.
Awesome.
He pulls up a couple plates for you, fills them with some things that look like cooked meat from some kind of animal, a couple indistinguishable greens, and a big tankard of ale for each of you.
I mean, it doesn't look bad.
I partake. Alaric
Yeah.
partakes the food.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nobody
It's
gets sick from it. So it's
As he rolls to
not-
see if anyone dies.
it's not bad. All of you, having been to Ravnica and other more lavish places, have had better food. But as you reflect on it, this food is certainly much better than the rations you've been having out in the wilderness for the last several days. So you eat your fill. The dwarf says,
Well-
"Thank you very much."
Before we leave, I want to ask the dwarf a question.
What do you
What
want to
can you
ask the dwarf?
Good sir, what can you tell us of your mistress?
The mistress? He thinks about it. The mistress is an important person to us. Make sure you show her the proper respect. What have you come to her for?
Come to seek her aid in finding a key.
A key. He narrows his eyes. Is that all? Our mistress makes many great things. A key for her should be no problem, although she may consider it beneath her. Still, he shrugs his shoulders. Best of luck to you.
Well, thank you.
All right.
All right.
Move on up.
You head out of the mess hall and continue up the stairs. Once again, feel like a bit of a broken record here, but it is getting noticeably colder as you head up the stairs to the point that now you're having a hard time keeping yourself comfortable. As you approach the fifth level, as you approach the fifth level, um, you see several buildings once again carved into the side of the mountain. Although again, this level appears to be smaller than the ones beneath it, and you only see about 4 buildings here. Above each one hangs a sign made out of metal. One looks like it's advertising some sort of weapons storage. Another looks like some sort of tannery. And you do see a few hides cooling in the air outside of that particular establishment. You don't see anyone actually outside the buildings at this point. And given the temperature outside, that's not surprising. A bit of snow is on the ground, although you don't see any falling from the sky.
I submit that I am not cold because I am made of pure white mana.
You so submitted. You have
I'm pretty sure that's right.
Yeah, you have no goosebumps. Good job.
Oh, he was looking, you perv.
Not everywhere. So. There doesn't appear to be anyone here outside to speak to.
So hey, I'm not cold. Are you guys cold? It seems like it would be chilly up here. I'm just saying.
Pretty sure I'm shivering.
I mean,
That's all right. I've dealt with worse.
Alaric grew up on Innistrad, which is, a fairly fall climate all the time kind of place. So he's seen it. I don't know about Karim's exposure on his visits here and there and everywhere, but
Spent a fair amount of time on Tarkir with the I'm blanking.
Okay.
Teamer.
Yeah, with the Temur clan and the Atarka brood in the different timeline.
That's right. Yeah. So, okay. Continuing up, looking around, shoving one of you off the cliff. What are you gonna do?
I mean, I don't see a need to go poking around in weapon storage because that.
Yeah, that would not be.
And wait, what was the other building?
A tannery.
I don't even know what that means. Is that where they make leather?
Leather hides. And,
I don't know. Is Alaric still carrying that hide around? He can go get it fixed up real nice.
I trashed that.
I say you better not.
I dropped that off last adventure because at that point, this was a bad idea.
Maybe he gave it to Karim. That's why Karim's rolls have been so bad. Karim, you held on to the hide of doom.
Maybe.
Okay. Once again, you continue up the stone staircase, and you notice that the staircase, while it certainly had plenty of room to either side for all 3 of you to walk 3 across, it's starting to narrow a little bit. And this one is the longest one by a good ways, where it's almost twice as long as the last staircase. As you get to the 6th level here, you reach the top of that level and you look across. This is a very small level. It only has 2 doors into the mountain with nothing, even basically 2 caves into the mountain with almost nothing, any kind of ornamentation or anything like that. But as you look in front of you, you do see that the staircase does continue up after a little ways, yet further. And it is extremely cold at this point. The angel, being pure white mana, may or may not be aware, but she has enough sense that her outer senses can certainly tell, hey, it's cold. The other 2 are probably freezing at this point.
Let's go in the cave.
Yeah, you guys cold? Do you need to stop and warm up?
Yes.
Yes.
Aw, you're so cute.
You start to head toward
Fine.
one of the cave. You start to head toward one of the caves. You poke your head in, and you see that both the caves, again, there's one on either side of the stairs, led into the same area, and it's what looks to be a large atrium area. Further beyond that, you see a wide open area where it looks like there are a few soldiers training and sparring. A gentleman, a human, I should say, gentleman, in armor that has been observing the sparring, sees you and comes over. Are you all right? Have you been out in the cold? Where are you from?
Far away.
Very, very far away.
He looks you up and down. He says, "No wonder you don't look like you're dressed for the kind of weather that we have up here. Have you been all the way up from the bottom levels today?
Yes.
Yes.
Why are you here?"
We are here to see Icolnir, and obtain a very special key.
He says, "Well, Icolnir is not going to be here. This is our training grounds. But if you go up the stairs one more time, you will see Icolnir's dwelling at the top. Make sure that you show her the proper respect. You can stay in here for a while if you want to warm up. But I'll warn you, it gets a little colder as you head up the last part of the mountain."
Oh, it's even colder. Well, what do you guys want to do? You're the ones that are
Minute
cold.
and warm up.
Yeah, just take a few minutes, and after we feel better, we will continue on our way.
You notice that as you're standing around warming yourselves up, you notice that it's actually even warmer inside the cave than you would expect from the temperature difference to be from the outside. And as you look around, you only see one or two torches. The rest of the area seems to be lit by an almost unnatural glow. And as you continue to look around, you see one or two small fissures in the walls that are glowing red hot.
Pretty ingenious heating system they have here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's nifty.
Is there any way we can bond?
You
Did
want to
we just lose Dirk?
No, he's saying he wants to try to make a mana bond with the mountain.
You
Yeah.
can
Right.
try and make.
Oh,
you
there
can try
he
and make him. You can try and make a mana bond with the mountain if you want.
I'm gonna try and do it.
Okay. Quick question for the other two. Were you having that? I just want to be clear. Were you having that conversation out loud about the ingenious heating system?
Yeah.
Yes.
The soldier who's still standing near you smiles broadly and says, the heat of this mountain is Icolnir's greatest gift to us." So, Dirk, you wanted to make a mana bond with the mountain.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll a d6, please.
2.
All right, you do not form a bond with the mountain.
Okay.
Anything else from you guys, or heading on up?
I guess while we're here, or should we try to like save it for somewhere more special, like Icolnir's inner sanctum or something?
Yeah, I don't think it'll make a difference. I think it looks at a wider area than that.
Oh. Well, then while we're here, I guess I'll try that too.
Okay.
6.
Roll a d6.
Huh. It fell in the, hang on. It's still rolling. 2 balls.
Nope. You fail. Sorry.
But I picked up the d6 with my toes, so I call that a win.
That is impressive.
All right.
Mike, are you gonna hold on to it for now, or are you good?
I mean, I already got 9 mana and I never cast spells, so
Okay. All right. So you head out of the cave, having warmed yourselves up, and continue up the mountain. This
Away we go.
staircase goes on for what feels like forever. You noticed that you started out the day, fighting snakes and all that, and you got into camp well before noon. And at this point, it looks like it is much afternoon. If I had to put a number to it, I might say like 4:30 or so. You've been going up this staircase for a long time. Finally, it narrows considerably. Come up while you're still not at the peak of the mountain itself. You're awfully close, and the stairs simply end on a small outcrop, and in front of you is a cave. Only one way in.
Well, I'm guessing that before my compatriots here freeze to death, we should probably get in there.
Yep.
yeah. Stev said the way would be pretty obvious, and this seems pretty obvious.
It
All
does seem pretty obvious.
You walk into the cave, and you immediately notice there is no fire, no torches lighting up the chamber. What appears to be a very small circular chamber with a door on the other end across from you. But sitting in a wrought iron throne, not to be confused with, Game of Thrones throne, but this one's just an iron throne. Sorry, that's what they call it in the books. This is a literally iron throne.
The
Is
throne made out of a chair made out of iron, not one made out of beaten swords.
You got it. No beaten swords. What you see is a creature. It's not tall. I can't give you an exact height. And anybody ever been to Lorwyn?
I'm gonna say probably not in my case. 'Tis a silly
Well,
place.
Yeah, it is a pretty silly place. Or Shadowmoor, but whichever.
Okay, so apparently not.
Okay. The creature sitting in the throne is wearing a series of flowing robes. Looks like multi-layered flowing robes. It appears to have the head of a donkey. And it stares at you with a small smile on its lips, very complacently. It has an insignia in the center of its chest on its robes, a flame surrounded by two sets of what appear to be bat wings, one at the top of the flame and then one toward the bottom. It does not speak.
I'll take a little bow.
You bow to the donkey person.
Sure. We're looking for Icolnir. For travelers from far away, we're looking for a very special key for the Tower of Donathir. Is that right?
Yeah.
When you say you're here for, hold on. When you say you're here for Icolnir, the donkey opens its mouth, and the chamber fills with the deepest voice you have ever heard. It reverberates through your very being and says, "I am Donathir." The contrast between its appearance and its voice is mind-blowing.
There's a plot twist.
Yeah.
Are you now?
The donkey raises an eyebrow when the angel says that and says, again in the booming voice, Am I not what you were expecting to find?
No, we were expecting to find Icolnir and get a key to unlock a tower to then maybe find you.
Yes, we've been asking about you all over. People have no idea where you are.
Wait, what did I say? Did I say you were? Hold on. Like I'm. Did I say Icolnir or Donathir?
You
You
said
said
Donathir.
Donathir.
I meant Icolnir. I'm sorry.
That is a
Wow.
less
Goodness
of a plot twist.
gracious.
I okay, not quite as big a plot twist. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's my fault. That's my fault. Rewind. I am Icolnir. This is my problem with using these words that I don't. I am Icolnir. Man, what a letdown, right? It's
Right?
not at all Donathir.
Okay,
No
now
wonder.
completely out
Okay.
of character, I figured we were gonna have to stab this weird shapeshifter because it's not actually Donathir. But okay, we're
It
good.
is like the thing says with the donkey face is I am Icolnir. That's my fault. I apologize. I was wondering what you were going on about. So okay. So now Icolnir says, "You want a key from me? I am the greatest smith Trivester has ever seen. I can make you wonders and weapons that your mind could not even comprehend. And you want a key from me? You want me to make you a key?"
Well, we think it's already been made. And let's produce the letter here.
Yeah, we've got this parchment that.
What
says
do
the
you
key is
mean
ready.
you think it's already been made? A key to what exactly?
The Tower of Donathir.
Howard.
At this, she jumps out of the chair and straightens herself up. You want the key to Noatun.
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
For a minute, her eyes are suddenly filled with a deep red glow. Then it gradually fades. He never came for the key, she says, as if to herself. She looks you three over. You want the key?
If that's okay.
Yes. We're trying to find him, and we're following clues that might help us.
She tilts her head to the side, as if thinking about this. I could give you the key, but even for someone as great as Smith as I am, I only ever managed to make the one. If I give it to you, and you can't do what needs to be done, I don't know that I can make another one. Then she stomps her foot a bit. But I am stuck here, and on the word here, the whole mountain seems to shake. So maybe it would be best to have you go. She looks at you again. But I have to be sure.
So, what exactly is it that needs to be done?
She thinks about it. That's actually a very good question.
That's
I'm
never a
not
good
sure that
sign.
I have the answer.
Anytime anyone says that's a good question, that's not good. That was out of character, by the way. I'm just remarking.
I'll tell you what. She steps to the side and points to the door behind the throne. I have an area that I would use sometimes to test the guests of Donathir to this plane. A proving ground, if you will. I will see you on the other side of it. If you make it that far, and if you manage to impress me, I will know that you're worthy, and I'll give you the key. Or I can let you go now, I think you'll have a better chance of living if I let you go now. But I won't give you the key. Well, travelers,
Well,
We
Well,
have to accept the challenge.
I mean,
Well.
yeah, we don't really have a choice at this point, right?
right, no. If we just give up and leave now, we're stuck here forever.
All right then, great lady. We accept your challenge.
very good. She gets a playful smile on her face. Would you care to leave your weapons here?
Go in without my trusty sword?
Is that a necessity for the trial?
She doesn't answer. She's still kind of watching you with a smile on her face.
Leave him here if we want back.
Say that again. You fuzzed out.
We have to leave our weapons if we want to show her respect.
She also said we needed to impress her.
That's true. That's true.
All right, hang on. I got this. So we're definitely leaving our weapons, right?
Yeah, I think you guys are right with your hunches there.
Okay.
As you start to lay your weapons down, she lets out the strangest laugh in the world. It sounds part donkey and part almost as if the mountain itself were shaking. It's the oddest sensation. And she says, "No, no, no. You'll definitely be needing those inside. I was just trying to see what you would do." She can see that you're a little confused, and she said, "I meant no disrespect. I was just trying to gauge your reaction.
Oh.
But no, you will absolutely need your weapons." She looks them over. "Even though I could make things 1,000 times better without trying, you will need something. So," she gestures again toward the door. "Please proceed."
Thank you, great lady. I was not looking forward to parting with my trusty sword. It's a good sword.
Yeah.
She gives it an appraising. "If that's good to you, then I suppose it will do." As you proceed toward the door, once again, you notice there are no torches in this cavern. All of the light seems to actually come from this strange donkey-faced lady. You open the door, and you see pitch darkness beyond.
Ooh. It is dark in there, boys. Huh. Kind of makes me wish I'd learned that spell to let there be light. Sorry about that, by the way.
No, that's okay.
Well, shall we?
Well, I guess we shall.
Like, we don't have any
Yep.
torches or anything handy, do we?
I don't have any in my gear.
Well, okay then.
Hearing you discuss this upon yourselves, Iconithir kind of sighs and shakes her head a little bit. "Travelers without torches?" She snaps her fingers, and you start to sense a light coming from the other side of the door.
Meaning we
There.
see a light.
You see an outline of a light in the distance, but it's just enough that it's not pitch black anymore. You can see basic outlines.
Ah. Well, then I will bow to her and say, "Thank you very much, great lady."
She kind of makes a hand wavy gesture at you, like, yeah.
All right. Well, let's go see what we can see.
All right.
All right. So the three of you step through the door, and the door swings shut behind you. As I said, you can see that you're in a narrow passageway, narrow enough that two of you can walk side by side, but not all three, and you can feel the rock walls on either side. I'm going to break just a little bit and tell you guys that you are heading into an area that I have an actual breakout map for. It has a couple twists and turns. I don't know if you want to keep pushing forward now or if you feel like this would be a good place to stop and pick it up here next time.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at the time going, is this going to be a massive ordeal? Because if so, we should probably cut it and wait till next episode.
I don't know if they'd be massive, but I don't think, unless something weird happens, this is not a straight line.
Yeah,
So,
it would take some time to sort out.
You walked up a lot of stairs. So,
Well, then shall we just pause here at the entrance to Icolnir's trial? And that's where we'll start next time.
yeah, there's a save point right here.
Hey!
So,
Wait, what flavor save state? Is it an S on the ground with a circle around it, or is it like a little glowing blue dot? Like,
it's a little crystal type thing. I always like the crystal. They're neat.
is it a giant D20 that turns into a coffin? Like, what are we?
Oh, maybe that. Now, it's not one of the Kingdom Hearts cheaty face ones that completely heal you up. I get why those are there, and that's nice. But no, I mean, like, this is just, you're not going to, like, touch this and feel instantly refreshed.
It doesn't pulse. Is it a pulse? What's the name for a 20-sided thing? Because it's not dodecahedron, that's 12.
Icosahedron.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Icosahedron.
Oh.
Is
Okay,
the-
yeah. Gotta love the pulsating icosahedron then. That's
What's
a
icos-
Symphony of the Night joke.
I never played Symphony of the Night. I've heard amazing things. So
The save points
Right.
are a giant pulsing D20, and when you walk up to it, it turns into a coffin because you're, Alucard.
all right, so we'll save here, and before next time, I'm going to keep working on the skills list, and I might have an update for that before we get back to it. The combat didn't really come into play this time, the whole major, minor, regular thing, but you guys have been keeping up pretty well, so I appreciate that. Any questions or comments about this session? It was a whole lot of walking and talking, I realized. It was not as much
we
like...
seem to go back and forth and have like a plot episode and then an action episode.
Last episode was the most action we had done so far,
It was pretty jam-packed.
which
Jam!
once again was not the plan, except that somebody
Mike
kept
is
getting
terrible.
lost.
I mean, Karim is
We
terrible.
could not. Yeah, our roles to move were terrible.
So you got to see more of the local wildlife and have it try to kill
Have
Dirk.
it try to
So-
kill you.
All right. So we'll pick up here next time, and with the cavern of Icolnir.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a little warmer in the cavern, by the way, so you're not freezing it.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I get the feeling we should have asked somebody for some like coats or something, but
So you guys
for
know
you
that
to-
she's a Noggle, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay. Tried to,
Noggle.
Noggle.
Yeah, that's the donkey head people from Shadowmoor.
If you want the best picture of what she looks like, just type Noggle into Gatherer and any of those pictures. But I think I personally like the hedge mage, Noggle hedge mage the best.
Let's see here. Screen. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Have to do the Chrome thing. There we go.
In
Search.
Twitch chat, Saint Siegel says, "At least you didn't find the Hogak." Yeah, that would have been
Hogak!
a little more harrowing.
Let's see. Yeah, Noggle Hedge Mage is actually the Bridge Breaker was the one that popped into my head when you mentioned the donkey
Okay.
head, just because I
That-
love this guy.
that works. But picture that with incredibly flowing robes, and maybe not what you expected to find in the Iron Chair. That's not the Iron Throne capitalized. So
Definitely not what I expected. When you first said I am Donathir, I'm like, lie.
yeah. That was my fault. I was going for the wait a minute. This thing is the one that everybody told us to be respect. Not this thing is the mythical figure that everybody is really looking for. A couple degrees lower, but
I think later in the conversation you use the name Icolnir for it or something.
Yeah, Iconothir. I was like,
Icolnir.
I know what he means.
yeah. So I hope you guys are still enjoying it.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting.
I can't wait to fight off some terrors in the Dark Maze trial place.
Maybe I should build an insanity meter like in Eternal Darkness.
Yay!
Joey can start attacking his friends, thinking that they're horrors from deep space.
I was
With
about
a
to say, is
sword.
there going to be one of the dark gods? What is it that Cthulhu and all them are?
Hmm.
Oh man,
The elder gods and the great old ones.
Yeah, all that.
You'll
my
have to
favorite
find out.
sanity meter effect was when you were playing the portly dude, and he went to reload his single shot pistols, and blew his own face off, and it popped up game over. That was one of my favorite sanity effects in that game. I went to reload and it blam and you're dead, and I'm like, what?
Wasn't there one that you just walked into a room and all of a sudden you're ambushed by a bunch of monsters and it's like game over, and then it snaps back to where your character actually is and they're just breathing really heavy?
Yeah,
That game was just so well done.
There was in one of the much later levels, in the one that's one of the ones that's set in the present day, the firefighter, his name is Michael. So when I was running around the level, my health was low, my sanity was low, and I heard the whispering voices like, Michael, stop, no, why, no, stop.
All right. Well, we can be done so people can go to sleep and or go to bed first, then go to sleep. But I would love it if we could get back to this before too long, because I feel like we're in a pretty good flow right now. So
yeah. So, real quick, I know that by the time this goes public, they will have told us more about Throne of Eldraine. And Commander previews are supposed to start sometime after San Diego Comic-Con, but I can't remember when. They might have said August, so we might actually have a week or two to do whatever we want. So it's possible we should actually do a second one of these in short order.
yeah.
Before Neverending Preview Season rears its ugly head again.
I would love to maybe talk next week about what we're gonna see. I'm planning to watch the stream on Saturday if I can make myself stay up for it. It's I think it's 10:30 Eastern time, because it was like 7:30 Pacific time. So I was planning to watch. I'm assuming they're gonna stream it. If it's only for Comic-Con attendees, then I think that's kind of gross. But I imagine even the people there will be tweeting about it, right? So I was gonna be like, woo! And I think if there's enough material there, it might not be bad to touch on it next week. But
Saturday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m.
6:30 to 7:30.
So it'll be
9:30.
It'll be 9:30 to 10:30 our time. Yeah.
That's not bad. I can do that. I'm an old guy, but I can stay up that long.
But no, it's not being streamed, apparently. It says if you're not able to join us at the panel, follow along with what's being shown on Twitter, and stay tuned to Daily MTG after the panel is over for an article detailing all the info Mark shares during the panel.
So I guess after it's over, then go to MTG. So at 10:30, see if the article goes up. Or do they mean like Monday?
It doesn't say. It just says stay tuned to Daily MTG after the panel is over.
Okay. I'll probably check it that evening then.
They probably have something just timed, just scheduled to post after it's done.
Probably.
Probably.
So depending on what all's there, we might want to talk about it next week. But for right now, we'll kind of keep it open, and I definitely want to get back to this real quick. So yeah, sounds good.
Nice.
All right.
Cool.
Well then, how about some final thoughts then, dorks?
Hey Dirk, for your before you get to your final thought, or as your final thought, for my I want to say congratulations to Dirk.
Yeah, Dirk. Why? For
My,
getting his
my
mic
wife,
working?
my wife is on my Facebook account more than I am, and she said that Dirk has a new position. Is that right?
That's correct. I will be teaching at a different school this coming
Hey!
school year.
And I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but this is a positive thing, right? Like this is a good thing.
This will be a good thing, yes.
Good.
I think I will be a bit happier.
He doesn't want to
Overall.
oversell it.
It's a much longer drive, but I will be at a school where I will be able to collaborate more with other teachers. I really do feel like that um, I will be able to grow as a professional with where I'll be going.
Well, good job. When you say a longer drive, like without talking about where you're working, where you're going to be working, how long was the drive to where you've been teaching, and how long will the drive be now to where you will be?
It was a 25-minute drive to where I was working. It'll be a 45-minute drive to where I will be.
Buh.
Yeah. But this is what you wanted, so, okay. Congratulations again. I didn't want to steal your thunder, but I wanted to make sure I mentioned it in case, you went to bed or something. So, good job, man.
Didn't want to steal your thunder, he says, doing his best Percy Jackson impression.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know Percy Jackson wasn't the lightning thief. Shut up. Doesn't matter. It was a joke. Spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Although the title of the first one is Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, not Percy Jackson is the Lightning Thief.
Yeah.
The
Oh, so wouldn't it be a real trip if he was the lightning thief?
What?
What?
Spoilers again?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the summer being over. This has been a bit of a fun, hectic, emotionally draining summer. I'm kind of ready for it to be over. That's sort of my final thought in all of this. I'm kind of ready for this to be over.
I mean, yeah, if it was long and emotionally draining, then yeah.
Yeah. A
So,
lot of people I talk to are like, yeah, teachers get the summer off, and I'm like, first of all, they don't, and second of all, they do so much work during the school year. I I I don't buy the whole, yeah, teachers have it so easy thing, because they don't. So, and I know that just because it's the summer doesn't mean you're not doing things that aren't important, and when you say emotionally draining and that sort of stuff too. So, yeah.
Yeah. Teachers don't have it easy, especially not in this city / county / state / country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing for me is when you're wanting to move to a different school district and everything, there is the people who are able to switch right off the bat, and then there's the people who have to wait a little bit for those people to transfer. And then it kind of is one of those things where you move around, you have to wait for spots to come open, and it takes a little while for all that to happen over the summer. There's training stuff that's happening over the summers. I've got the boys, so I've had to I have them over the summer, so I'm busy teaching and everything. Leighton actually is going to a year-round school right now, and he is it's he said the teacher says it's been He's doing really well because I've been reading with him and doing school stuff with him this whole summer, like the summer so far.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, without saying names, Trevor is going to stay in the school system where he's been going, and
Yes.
Leighton is going to be doing this other thing. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lane's going to be in a different school system.
Okay. Cool.
Neat.
Good job, man.
All right, and I am going to head on to bed, guys.
All right. Good night, you.
Night, Zerk.
Good night.
Poor Zerk and his bum ass microphone.
Yeah. But he made it work.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So, and for the most part, I could hear him pretty well. For my final thought, I guess it's kind of multi-layered like a cake. Just looking forward to seeing what they've got for this new set. As always, you know me, new cards, woohoo! That's all it takes to make me happy. If you were a Patreon, well, even if you weren't, the odds and ends won't be ready for a while, right?
Yeah.
So, I'll say that I had never, despite the work I've been doing with this RPG, I had actually never played a game or a session or whatever of D&D in my life. And when we got together for the family reunion in July, my brother actually, who has a regular play group, actually ran a scenario or whatever you want to call it. And my dad and mom, myself, and my brother and sister all got in on it, and Sam even helped my sister with her character, both her creation and running it, and it was a pretty neat thing. And I'm really glad I picked Sorcerer because I had a lot of fun just being like pew 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 and blowing stuff up and scaring my teammates actually so badly when I unleashed some lightning on a wolf and like blew it and its compatriot up, that the rogue was like peace and like stole away into the shadows because he's like, I don't know who this guy is anymore. So it was a lot of fun. Don't know that I'm a convert or anything, but I had a good time, and it was really interesting to me how much Sam loved it because she's always been very creative, and I think the game allows her to express that in a kind of unique way. And I know Mike's been playing D&D for a long time. Like, when did you get into it, Mike?
Let's see. Oh, I guess I was playing here and there very, very infrequently since I was in middle school, but that was very infrequent. Several years ago, there was a group that met very regularly for a long time. Austin was the DM for that. Stopped that, and then more recently, Gabe has been doing a session with some people that we know mutually and some other people that he's met at work, but it's just for various reasons. It's been a while since that group last met.
Okay.
But I continue to have fun with it whenever I get the chance. I continue to have fun with this whenever we get the chance.
Cool.
It's just interesting to do.
I'm glad you think so. I'm continuing to try and work on and make it enjoyable because that's the whole point. That's pretty much what I got. So yeah, having a good time. Glad everybody else is having a good time. Tried something new and really enjoyed it, and I'm even happier that Sam had a good time because we were gonna try and go to a pre-release for M20. Didn't work out, so I haven't had a chance to play with that new set yet. Not to be confused with other new Magic sets like Modern Horizons and stuff coming up. And holy cow! So, but I'm good. Next.
Mike, that's you.
Yeah, it is. I don't have a lot to speak about for stuff that's been going on because unfortunately it's just been like work stuff going on. Like I've been kept really late at the office like almost every day for 2 or 3 weeks, and it was just blah. I didn't have to do stuff over the weekends, but over the weekends I was usually out of town going somewhere. I went to visit family over the 4th of July weekend, took some time off, but just like, yeah, so there's not much to report there. I feel like I was about to have something to interject there, but now I don't know what it is anymore. What the heck?
Dang it, man.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm sure you'll think of it at right before you go to bed. Send me a message, and I'll be like, "We already recorded, Mike. It doesn't matter."
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
This actually happened on Monday. Bill and I the post-show odds and ends from Monday's Monday Night Magic is going to be like 2 hours long before Silence Truncation, because me and Bill and Clues got to talking about Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
And then Clues went to bed. And so Bill and I started talking about Spider-Man Far From Home. Now, don't worry if you haven't seen it, because that odds and ends won't be out for some God knows how long. But we went off on Far From Home for like a long time. And at one point, Bill goes, "Oh, and right at this point, there's something... Hang on. There's something... Wait, hang on. There's something that I really wanted to happen. And what did happen was cool, but what I really wanted to happen right at that moment was... I don't remember. I have no idea. It was really cool, though." And I went, "Well, you'll think of it later." And we talked for a while, and then he went to bed. And we killed the odds and ends, of course,
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, at I think it was right before I woke up. So it's 9 o'clock. He sends me a message. "Oh, I remembered what I was thinking during Spider-Man Far From Home." I'm like, "Oh yeah? Good job. We're not in the odds and ends anymore." And he told me what it was. And I was like, "You're right, that would have been really cool. Too bad you didn't remember that last night when people could hear us." But anyway, sorry, I just thought I'd throw that out there. So you good then?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, as for me, I've just been working on stuff a lot on the streaming side of things right here at twitch.tv/themanapool. I streamed Teamfight Tactics again, and I've sworn off Teamfight Tactics. Every time I play Teamfight Tactics, it makes me angry because of the inane design decisions in the game. So why do I keep... And I've tried so many times to like this game because I love the genre and the actual gameplay is good, but it's all the other stuff that isn't. So I've sworn off Teamfight Tactics. It'll be just Dota Underlords now in the auto battler genre for me, because that game is superior in every way.
Mm-hmm.
I also streamed through the Messenger DLC. You remember the Messenger? That amazing 8/16-bit game? Yes. The Picnic Panic free DLC came out, and I played through it over 2 streams, and I'm turning that into YouTube videos. That'll be going up on youtube.com/themanapool. Along with the rest of the Underlords videos and some Smash Brothers World of Light, of course, because that video series is apparently never going to end. Even though I've been done with, actually streaming it, I've got all the raw footage, but every time I make a video, I swear the remaining stream gets longer by 45 minutes. It's the damnedest thing. But yeah, the Messenger DLC will be going up on YouTube soon. Smash Brothers will be going up, semi-regularly. And Mike and I got together late last month, I think it was, and played some Hearthstone. The first 2 videos from that have gone up, including Mike's completely insane Warlock game.
That was so dumb.
Right? And
I'll have to check it out on YouTube.
That one's up already.
I know.
And
So I'll have to
I've
go check it out.
got probably 3 more videos from that Mike and Chewy stream. Because there's one game that Mike played that's going to be by itself. Because it was really long. And I had given up hope, I think 3 times over the course of that game. So that'll be an episode in and of itself. I have to watch the other stuff to see if it's worth turning into videos.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know which game you're talking about.
Yeah. And then after some of that stuff is done, I've still got Human Fall Flat that I played with Steph, an entire run-through of Titan Souls, and some Heroic Black Rock Mountain that is still sitting on my hard drive, all to be turned into YouTube content. But first I got to get through the Messenger because it's the most timely and most, it's brand new, so let's get it out there. And then finish up the Hearthstone stuff before the new set comes out and it all becomes irrelevant. So yeah, those are the important bits, and then I'll start on the other stuff after that. Yay! So yeah, that's all the content, and of course, we stream the Mana Pool and Monday Night Magic here on Twitch, and then they go up as the audio podcast that you know and love, and also on YouTube. So if you missed the live stream, you can totally watch the video version of both of those. And yeah. So, if you want to help support what I do, there's one YouTube video at least every day, without fail. And then there are streams just scattered throughout the week. Then, by all means, the most direct way to do that is to go to patreon.com/themanapool and become a lifeguard. Becoming a lifeguard gets you various perks. You can get stuff, YouTube videos and Mana Pool episodes early. You can get access to the odds and ends, which is all the stuff recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Mana Pool. That's, just some behind the scenes nonsense of us being us. And it is uncensored and unfiltered. And you can get the sponsorship shout out on both podcasts and on the end screen for all the YouTube videos each month by becoming a Mythic Lifeguard. So thank you to our Mythic Lifeguards, Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious, Team Hellas Haru, Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Sophia Bertain, Casey, Faye Says, Danny Liao, Jason Doan, Cody Buckawing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Gothic Man, Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, John Parker, Violet Moon, Aleph Cat, Dan Holm, Bartle, Sarah Jane, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine.
You gonna make it?
Barely. A big thank you to our Mythic Lifeguards and all lifeguards of every flavor. To you rare lifeguards and above, I apologize for the lack of odds and ends, but I just recently got 2? I think it was 2 of those posted just a couple days ago, and the plan is to get another 2 or 3 up. Wait, what's today? It's Thursday. We're recording the Mana Pool. Just to get another 2 or 3 of those up tomorrow, if at all possible. So, sweet! But with that, I guess we will be done. Also, hey, if you shop on Humble Bundle, then you should use our partner link, because that actually directly benefits me as a content creator. The link is down in wherever you're listening to this. Yeah. Also, during the show, I refreshed Twitter, and I got the new Twitter interface. It sucks.
Breaking news.
Like, it's just ugly. Buh. Although it says that it got a darker dark mode, and since I have everything possible in dark mode, I appreciate that. But anyway, so with that, we will be done with the Mana Pool number 559. Hope you guys are enjoying the RPG, because we are. Right?
So far?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Hope it's enjoyable for the listeners, absolutely.
I was hoping to catch Mike. Be like, right? And Mike's like, eh. But so, thank you all so very much for listening. And, let's see. We didn't really, Ooh. Thank you all so very much for listening. And, ask an ogre about his food.